The Stage Door Show, celebrating the independent artist. With your host, Dave Hondell.
Broken heart just to know what it feels like. Stole a car, drinks with me for the whole night.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Stage Door Show tonight. This is Dave Hondell. My special guest tonight is joining me from her home in Connecticut, pop artist Lexi Mariah. Hi Lexi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am doing great, and it's a pleasure to have you on. You know, I know you have a lot of followers on TikTok, and my daughter Jessica sent me your information, and I had to have you on the show because I really loved listening to your music and seeing a lot of your posts, and I know being an independent artist, that's what we do. We celebrate indie artists on the show, so I definitely wanted to have you on, and let's talk about some of your music, because Waterfall, what an amazing song. I really liked that song and that track, and talk about that song. How did that come about, and how's it doing right now?
Yeah, thank you. So I actually wrote Waterfall last year in 2020 during quarantine with my producer and friend, and I wanted to make a song that was more vulnerable. That was just kind of the way I was feeling at the moment, very vulnerable and kind of taken down just by everything that was going on, a lot of negativity surrounding me, and it was getting really frustrating. So I kind of just wanted to write a song exactly explaining how I was feeling. So Waterfall kind of covers just like the negativity that you feel every day from people around you and just society in general. All of the negative things that you hear and see online, it can really just bring you down. So I wanted to make something that was uplifting and encouraging, and just as a reminder that you're going to get knocked down, but you don't have to drown underneath it all.
Your words hit me like a waterfall. You're good at making me feel small. You can't hurt me like you did before, 'cause I'm not drowning underneath it all. Even when I'm innocent, I still get in trouble. You're always silently waiting for me to stumble. This war is never ending. The voices you're defending. Now my heart is mending. It's over right now, right now. Oh, your words hit me like a waterfall. You're good at making me feel small. You can't hurt me like you did before, 'cause I'm not drowning underneath it all.
Now, I know through the pandemic, especially for younger people, I know you're in your early 20s, and did you find that writing music kind of gives you that ability to try to get things off your chest, I guess, make you feel a little better and about things? Because I know a lot of artists aren't able to perform right now, which stinks, but we're all kind of stuck in our homes, and creative people like us, that's the one thing that we have the ability to do when we're home so much, is actually try to create as much as possible. Did you find yourself doing that same thing to try to get out of that funk?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, music has really been like the only constant thing during this whole pandemic. And obviously not being able to go out and perform has been something that is really difficult, really hard on me and all artists, honestly. So just being able to keep writing and recording from home, still being able to connect with my listeners in that way, that's really what's gotten me through like this whole thing. So I'm really thankful for that.
Lexi, when did you get into really being serious about making music? I mean, at what age did you get into that?
So I got really serious about music when I was like 14. That was when I took my first voice lesson, and I started auditioning for reality talent shows like American Idol, The Voice, America's Got Talent. And unfortunately, none of those really worked out for me, but that pushed me to want to do it on my own. So I started writing my original music and recording in a professional studio, which was really exciting for young me at that time. And then once I had some songs ready to go, I started releasing them, and I think it's been going okay so far.
No, that's good. And also you have a song called Sour Patch. Talk about that single as well, because I want our listeners to hear as much music on this show as possible of you, to try to get you out there more. So how about Sour Patch? Where did that song? How was that born? That one?
So Sour Patch kind of discusses like the different side of me as a person, and I feel like other people can definitely relate to that as well. It kind of discusses like the sweet and sour sides, like the nice and rebellious sides, and kind of just acts as a reminder that you don't have to like be just one type of person all the time. You don't always have to be like the perfect person that your friends and family might expect you to be. Like, you don't always have to meet everyone's expectations. And I think that's something that a lot of people and artists struggle with, is being that like expectation of a person. So I wanted Sour Patch to kind of cover that. The name actually came from, we were in the studio one night, me and a bunch of my producers and other people that, my co-writers that have been working on the songs with me, and for some reason the word Sour Patch just kept coming up in the conversation. So after it came up so many times, I was like, hold on, I think that's a great name for a song. That's definitely what my next single should be. So we kind of wrote that one from the title with that whole concept in mind.
Broke a heart just to know what it feels like. Stole a car, drinks with me for the whole night. The neon queens burning up the city lights. It's not a phase if you do it 1,000 times. Rooftop views, elegant cars, sipping liquor till we take it too far. Saccharine dreams, vanilla skies. We're so sour, we're so sorry. 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 When we go down.
Well, I think a lot of other people felt the same way, because you've accumulated over 40,000 streams, which is amazing, and you're able to grow your base as well, and so and it's also self-empowering. Talk about your lyrics. Talk about the self-empowering lyrics, and is that something that you, I guess, is your brand? What part of your brand is to have self-empowering lyrics like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think all of my songs have at least some bit of empowering, uplifting lyrics. That's really what I like to focus my songs around, because even though if some of them might be about more of like a negative subject, I like to still keep the overall vibe positive in a way and encouraging. Even my first single, Strange, it's in a way a very negative song, and it discusses losses and kind of just losing friends, which everyone goes through, obviously. But I feel like in a way, going to my next single, Oh Boy, which I released last year, that kind of turns it around. And that's kind of more like I would say more of a sassy song. So honestly, for me, I think that like each of my songs get a little bit more positive as I'm like continuing to find myself as an artist and as a writer and keep improving my craft.
And also talking about branding and marketing, obviously TikTok is one of the most, I guess, up and coming, social media platforms, with the algorithm still at the point where you can gain a lot of followers pretty quickly. if you have the right, content, and you seem to have the right content because you're growing that base as well. So talk about marketing yourself as an indie artist, especially at a young age like yourself, where you don't have a team of people behind you necessarily. Do a lot of things on your own. Talk about the importance of marketing yourself, but also marketing the right way.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely do a lot on my own. I do have a lot of great people who help me out and work with me to market myself better and keep making better content. But as far as marketing yourself on TikTok and gaining followers, you have to be authentic. You have to, as far as growing on TikTok, you have to interact with other people in your niche and just be really real about what you do. Always be sure to respond to comments, interact with your followers, make content that you would want to watch. Whenever I post a video, I think to myself, would I want to watch this or would I keep scrolling? And I think that's a good mindset to have, because if you wouldn't want to watch it, why would other people want to watch it? And marketing your music on TikTok, I think it's a really amazing platform to kind of share your original music, because of the past year, so many artists have been discovered through TikTok. And if you listen to the radio, even now in 2021, a lot of the songs that are on it and a lot of the artists on the radio are people that were found on TikTok, which is just incredible. So I think over the past year, it's been a really great platform for independent artists.
Yeah, I mean, very powerful. Definitely well said. Musically, who influences you, or who has influenced you when you started making music? I mean, do you have some different people that you listen to, that you try to pick up different things from?
Yeah, I would say that Cher Lloyd has been one of my biggest influences for sure, musically. And also Taylor Swift. Her songwriting is just incredible. And I've learned so much from her, both of them, honestly, from just like down to the sound and writing lyrics. They're both incredible artists, and I definitely wouldn't be the artist I am today without growing up listening to both of them. So I definitely give a lot of credit to them for helping me develop and helping me really find myself.
Yeah, Taylor Swift obviously is not, aside from her music and her songwriting. I mean, her business acumen is incredible, and just at her age, where you are right now, I mean, she was somebody who really blew up her career, but did a lot of that stuff on her own, and was and still is an extremely effective business person outside of her stage presence and all that. She does a lot of her own business. So again, I think Taylor Swift is one of the best role models. So it's not a bad role model to have, Taylor Swift. So that's amazing. The other thing is you're looking at doing some new music, some new releases, and even some new music videos. So talk about the future and where you want to go with all that.
So the Waterfall music video is actually coming out very soon. It was delayed a little bit, but that's just because we keep trying to make it better. We're doing the best we can with the circumstances that we're currently facing. But yeah, I'm definitely really excited to release that. It was really fun to film, and I have been writing new music this whole time. I don't have a date for my next single just yet, but a good portion of it is done, and I have a lot of other songs that are getting ready to go. I'm working with some great people this year and doing a little more experimenting with sounds and ideas and concepts. So I'm really excited to see where it goes, and I'm excited to hear what people think. I definitely like to keep my sound consistent, but also I like to change it up a little bit every time, because I like to be consistent so people obviously know me, know my style, know my brand, but I like to keep them kind of guessing about what's going to come next. So I'm very excited for everything that's to come this year. And I really hope that I'm able to perform my music live at some point this year. That's like my biggest hope right now.
Now, once the pandemic's over, and obviously we're looking maybe a few years down the road, but what is your the one, if you had, I guess, a dream to play anywhere, whatever venue it is, anywhere in the world, what venue would you want to make it a goal to play, and why?
Oh my gosh. Well, I think this is a goal for a lot of artists, but Madison Square Garden would be like the big dream for me. For a little bit smaller dream, I would love to play Mercury Lounge in New York, because a lot of really amazing artists have been discovered there. So I just think it would be super cool to play there and kind of think back of who played here before they got big. So that's definitely something I would want to try to aim for. But, the big dream, a big arena, Madison Square Garden, it would just be incredible. And even, I may not be headlining there anytime soon, but if sometime in the near future I could be an opening act for someone, that would still be just as amazing to me.
Well, I think you can do it, definitely, Lexi. I mean, you definitely have the talent to do it, and the more you write and the more you put music out, obviously, it's gonna keep gaining your audience, and the other thing that I wanted to mention is collaboration, because that's another thing that I talk to indie artists a lot about, because for me in my career, my 25 plus career in music business, the one thing that I've noticed that gets people noticed more than anything is to collaborate with other artists out there that maybe are in either a different genre of music or maybe the same genre of music, but maybe they have a base already. So who would you like to collaborate with? Have you been thinking about that at all?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would love to collaborate with, I think it would be cool to work with someone who's sort of at the same level as I am currently. Because it's like we both kind of have a very small fan base, and I think it would be really interesting to see like what we could both gain from that. But if we were going up to someone who's a little bit more established, I would love to work with Tones and I think she is so talented and one of the most unique artists of the past many years. She's amazing. And her writing style is just so interesting to me, and in her voice and just like her overall style. So I think she would be really cool to work with. And then of course, my two influences that I mentioned earlier, I would love to write with Cher Lloyd or Taylor Swift. Those are both like big dreams. So hopefully one day.
Well, I have no doubt you'll do it. And, Lexi, let's tell everybody how they can get a hold of you or find you on social media. Let's talk about your platforms.
Yeah, so all of my social media handles are at Lexi Mariah Music, and you can find my music on all digital platforms. The only thing, I'm currently having an issue with Spotify, where my songs Waterfall and Oh Boy are temporarily unavailable, but they will be back up. We're just trying to figure a few things out with them, but like I said, they will be back up. But other than that, Apple Music, Deezer, iTunes, literally anywhere else, you can find all of my music.
Now, before we go, Lexi, I want to ask you a question that I ask my artists that come on the show, and it's it's kind of deep, but what do you want your legacy to be? I know you're very young right now, but 30 years down the road, when you've had a great career and you've played, Madison Square Garden and all the big Mercury Lounge and all the big places, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want your fans to walk away with, from your career? What's your main message?
I always say, even this might be something very small to be thinking of for the future, but I always like to say, if I can make at least one person smile from listening to my music, then my day is made. Of course, there are much bigger goals to aim for, but if I can make people happy with my music and have music that sticks around for a while, that people are going to be listening to for decades. Like, that's really what I'm aiming for. Just to keep making people happy, keep empowering, keep like the positivity going, and I want to definitely just leave something for people to remember in a good way.
Well, that's great. And I have no doubt that's going to happen. And you have a good start. You're very talented, and keep up the good work. And anything we can do for you on the Stage Door Show, we will definitely do whatever we can. And I appreciate you joining us on the show, Lexi, and best of luck to you in the future.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
Rooftop views, elegant cars, sipping liquor till we take it too far. Saccharine dreams, vanilla skies.